So what I thought we'd do is look at the questions we get from retailers, and I'll kick off to kind of set off the tone. One of the biggest questions that I get from retailers is about competition. How can I compete? Because retail's changing so much. All of our customers are local small business retailers, independent retailers, and they're feeling the pressure of the economy, feeling the pressure of competition. And so the question that I often get is, how can I better compete? And I mean, you guys know me. My standard answer to that's going to be, well, first off, use discount vouchers because that's a great way for you to compete. It gives you a loyalty difference within your business. But another way to compete is to uh, stop being an idiot in how you run your business. And I mean, think about it. Think about how many retail businesses we see where they're loaded with stock that's dead stock. It's just not selling. They've got thousands of dollars of stock sitting on the shelves, or they're making pricing decisions that aren't the best pricing decisions to maximize the profitability of their business.
Mm.
And so when retailers say, how can I compete? My answer is, well, okay, with my point of sale software company, the answer is going to be use the software well, lean into the opportunities that you've got within the software because retailers think there's going to be some button they can push that makes everything good. And that's not the case. It's a whole bunch of small steps that make retail businesses successful. So Tim, from your point of view, is there a question that retailers ask you?
Look, I mean, I guess there's no one absolute question that they all ask. I mean, it's like, from my point of view, it's businesses are coming to us because they're looking to change systems. One big one that comes up is can we assist with bringing data across, which we absolutely can. But then I would say, one of the bigger ones, one of the things people are really looking to get out of the system is, can it help them save time and what does that look like? And in terms of functionality, we've got an absolute ton to do that. But yeah, I would say that's kind of the one of the biggest questions is how do we help them save time?
So let's pick up on both the questions you have there. In terms of bringing data across, you're talking about taking data from some other system and bringing it into our software.
Yeah, yeah. Look, pretty much every business coming to us, well, the majority, they're looking to move from their current system to us. Some are, fresh installs, but there's certainly a lot of transition happening in the marketplace at the moment. And so that involves bringing across all of the products so they don't have to manually re-enter that data, bringing across customer details, just making that process from getting from the old system to the new one as easy as possible.
So the other one you had was about saving time. So if somebody
Yeah.
says, how can I save time in my business?
Oh,
Are you
so
just
look,
going to magically say a number here? I'll save you 10 hours.
I mean, we don't do any sort of like, here's a spreadsheet, put these figures in, and this is what it's going to calculate because every business is different. It ultimately comes down to a discussion of how they're operating today. We've got some really cool tools around, importing AI arrivals and things like that. But also, if they want to do any sort of manipulation on their data, if they are, and this kind of ties back to coming from another system if they're moving from an older system to us, generally their data's not real great. And we've got some great tools in the stock manager facility to be able to go in and clean up your data en masse. And that in itself is a huge time saver in the beginning, but also moving forward if they want to do any sort of work on their data.
So you mentioned about the AI stuff. So for example, if I've got this invoice, and let's say a business says to you, I've got this invoice and I will spend an hour or 2 hours manually typing that invoice in. Along the way, I'll probably make some mistakes that will cost some money. That's where you'll come in and say, well, from a time saving point of view, we take that into seconds, and
Yeah.
mistake-wise, we eliminate those mistakes.
Absolutely. And, businesses have been sending through examples of their invoices. We'll load it in. We'll do a short video on what it looks like to load that in. So if someone is looking to compare what we do to what their current system does, send us an invoice and we will do a video of what that looks like. It is a massive game changer.
Yeah. So, Justin, from your point of view, what's a question that you see retailers ask in your interaction with them?
Well, of course, Tim's probably taken mine, so I'm going to have to go to plan C or D here. But look, I would say to keep it simple, it's just, are you guys local? People just want local support. They want to open their doors at 8 a.m. If they have any dramas, they want to know they can get, real help then and there. Same as when they're closing their doors at 5 p.m. They don't want to wait 24 hours, to be able to print it, end a shift report or get any sort of basic support.
So, picking up on that localness. Um, Even if a retailer is looking for software or considering software, uh, if they call a tower number, they're going to get to speak to one of you two guys. Um, and you're in that interaction, you're going to be able to demonstrate or show what localness looks like because in Justin, in your case, you can speak to your years of managing retail and your experience of growing up in retail, and you can speak to knowledge of Australian and New Zealand retail settings, and your knowledge of that's going to be quite different to somebody who might be dealing with a call center offshore or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And not just me, like all of our support guys. I mean, Tower have had, retail businesses for as long as I can remember. So, most of the support desk have sort of worked in those businesses, been on site to help with those businesses as well. So, yeah, getting real life in, I guess, real life experiences really, walking in the shoes of our customers.
So the reason I started this with questions is because when retailers are looking for things online, or humans, all of us actually, we will generally couch that search as a question. And so I thought it might be useful for us to think about these questions. So are there
Mm.
any other questions, Tim, that you could think of that a retailer would ask, or is
Uh,
right now? Because this is without notice.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Look, I mean, a common question when people call is, what does your system cost? And obviously, we've got the pricing page on our website that walks through that. But
Sorry, when you say pricing page, um, they don't have to give us any information. We don't ask for their email, their name, their phone number. The pricing is there just publicly for everybody to see.
yeah, it is. It's really transparent. And look, I mean, I would even go as far as if people do have questions and they're a bit concerned about providing details, just pick up the phone and call us. Like you can have
Mm.
a chat with us one on one. Don't even have to give us your email address, phone number, or anything. If you've got questions, just call. We're happy to help. And there's no pressure. Yeah, we're pretty easygoing.
Are you like the real estate guy that I gave my number to 6 months ago who calls me like every 3 days?
Yeah, worse than that, I'll come knocking on your door.
Well, this
No,
guy
look, I
rang
mean,
me and he said, "Do you want to come out for coffee?" I said, "Why do I want to come out for coffee?" It's
yeah,
crazy.
no, we take a pretty laid back, easygoing approach.
Yeah. Justin, what about you? Are there any kind of other hot question?
Now, look, as far as look further to what Tim said, as far as transparency goes, I guess the question is, what do you guys integrate with? That's all listed on our website as well. Yeah, basically everything's listed on our website. So pretty transparent as far as pricing and what we offer goes. And as Tim said, if you've got any further questions, like we'd be happy to help.
Yep. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks.